Hi Slimming Wilders, hope you're well. I hope your weight loss journey is going really well too. Past couple of weeks haven't been too good. I mean, it's not a disaster. I've put on £0.5 each week for the past 2 weeks. So it's not a mega disaster or anything like that. But it just sort of feels like my weight's slowly creeping up. It might be because of changing the weather, so I'm sort of changing my diet. I do tend to change my diet towards the winter. I don't have so many salads. I find it too cold. I don't go out so much. Also, I tend to sort of fill up on sort of the more sort of warming foods and things like that. And sometimes maybe I'm not getting enough speed food in, but various different reasons, and hopefully my last weigh-in was in the evening rather than in the daytime, so that won't help things much either, because obviously you have eaten throughout the day, and so normally when I weigh in I haven't had anything to eat, so it could be a multitude of issues why it's slightly creeping up, but as long as I'm sort of aware of it and can keep control of it, then that's the main thing. Things have been a little bit tough the last couple of weeks. My husband's been on night shifts, and then he had 2 shifts cancelled, which means we lost 16 hours of work last week, which was a bit of a disaster, because you can imagine what that does to a family. Financially, things have been really, really tough. I've had to dip into savings in order to try and keep us afloat. And when you're trying to save money so that you can give your kids a good Christmas, that's not really very, very nice. But I think next year we're going to have to save even more money than just the Christmas money, because obviously we've got universal credit coming, and that is going to completely, if I don't plan now, that's going to completely destroy us. I don't, and unless you are working on a 0-hour contract, you've no idea how tough it is. 1 week you can have a really good week, and you can have several good weeks, and then all of a sudden, nothing. And you're literally living week to week to week, and you can't plan your life because, even though you might have been given a load of, my husband gets given a load of hours, he'll only get them on the Friday, ready for the Monday. So we have like a weekend's notice to actually organise our life, which is extremely difficult when you've got 3 children. And then, you can think to yourself, well, he's got a good week this week, and then shifts just get cancelled. It's very hard to support a family on that. Very, very hard. And unfair. So give me a little rant there. It's very, very hard, but the hardest thing for me is I feel I've got no control over it. Whereas when I was working, when I was able to do those, when I was doing supply work, I was also on 0 hours, but at least I felt I could support my husband and try and bring a bit in for the family. But circumstances and have sort of, it wasn't doing us any favours financially in the end. And in the end it was sort of penalised. We were getting penalised for me trying to support my family. So in the end I've had to sort of give up, and in some ways it's more beneficial for Alex, my baby, because then he's got a regular parent at home, whereas when we were trying to share those duties, he was getting a little bit confused as to, where's mummy gone, where's daddy gone, they keep going away and disappearing, and he does get a bit funny about that. So having one parent at home is helpful to him, because he knows there's always that one person there for him. As much as I don't like it, as much as I really want to go back to work, I've just got to make that sacrifice for now, until he's old enough to go to nursery, and then I can get working again, which is what I really want to do. Unless I can get something permanent, and then my husband can stay at home, so I'm sort of been trying to apply for jobs, but I keep getting sort of down to the last 2 and then losing out, and that is just so soul destroying. It's just getting me to the point where I'm losing all faith in myself and thinking, well, what's wrong with me? There's obviously something wrong with me if I can't get my kids a permanent job, to support them. You know, that's all I want to do, is give my kids a decent future. You know, not having to worry and struggle and everything else. But I just got to keep the faith that it'll happen. It'll happen. I'll get my job. I'll get my, you know, I didn't go to uni just to flap about for 3 years. I went to uni so I could give my kids a decent life. That was the goal, and I'm still not there. And that really breaks my heart. But, you know, I've got to try and think positive and everything else. Otherwise, I'll just screw up, you know. And I seem to be getting panic attacks now. Every time I know I've got an interview coming, I'm panicking. Because I think, well, you know, what if I fail this one? What if I fail this one? And I'm sure it has a negative effect on my sort of, on my ability to get a job. It must come across that I'm desperate or something. Which I am, but I don't want them to think that. So anyway, I don't want to sort of end on a sort of negative note or anything like that. I just got to try and keep positive, keep thinking everything's going to be, you know, everything will get there in the end. And hopefully, at least my mini goal at the moment is to give my kids a nice Christmas. That's the main thing. You know, keep everything together, keep family together, and try and give ourselves a nice Christmas. But so anyway, I hope everybody's weight loss journey is going really well. As I say, I've just had a difficult couple of weeks, which is probably why I haven't been on here. But I'm going to be doomsday prepping for Universal Credit, because that's going to be kicking in next year. And I want to prepare for the worst. Even if they do kick it into the long grass, which I kind of hope they do, I'm going to prepare for the worst. I'm going to be getting sort of tins in, you know, really sort of doomsday prepping it, so that if it happens and we're out of money, you know, that at least I've got some food, you know, in to keep my kids going. But anyway, I've got to go because, you know, I've got things to do, lots of things to do, like washing and laundry and stuff like that. So I've got to go and do all that boring stuff. And hopefully I will see you soon. Bye.